Good to see many of you again, and nice to meet others of you. So feel your sits bones on your chair. Feel yourself sitting there. Feel your feet connected to the floor. And tonight, our floor is the earth. So feel your feet connected to the earth. And just gaze or peruse your landscape. Don't look for anything. Just enjoy it. And then with the next breath, gather up all of the actions and intentions you use to arrive here and now. Inhale and gather. Exhale them out your feet. Return those to the earth. We were all successful. You don't need them anymore. Inhale and gather. Exhale back to the earth. Now, with your next breath, gather up all of your thoughts, anticipations, or plans that might be tugging you from the here and now into the future. Inhale and gather those up. Exhale them off to the side. They'll still be here when we're done. Inhale and gather. Exhale off to the side. And just stay in your hopefully more spacious inner landscape. So I'm happy to share these wintertime practices, supports. Each season, I offer a different series. Each series offers things we can do to take advantage of the energies of the season and kind of mitigate the stresses and challenges that each season offers. I'll show you some pictures in a minute and talk about that at more depth. The main thing is that tonight I want you to know that and maybe a sentence at the end is the only sales pitch you're going to get. This is a practice class, and I want to share these practices with you. Because it's a single class and my design of the curriculum is for 12 90-minute classes, I won't be able to share every single thing we'll do. We'll taste some, and others will do once, but know that there's more there. All my classes begin with movement. Well, they begin with a little talking and then Qigong. Each season has a different Qigong or two that we practice together, and then we sit at the end and we do Nigong, or internal practices, meditative practices. Both are the gifts of Tao practice, and both are equally powerful or important or shaping to your life. Let me just talk a little bit about winter and the elements and all that stuff before I start talking about what we'll do in more detail. If you are very new to Chinese medicine or Taoism, a central tenet is that there are 5 elemental energies. And sorry to those students, those loyal students who come back season after season. You've heard this before. These elements are what differentiate, actually, Taoism from Buddhism, from Western natural sciences, natural histories, in that these 5 elements create everything. They create or govern or manifest the directions. So I'll keep using winter as our example. And winter is governed by the elemental energies of water, but it also, water governs the north. And you see there's wood, fire, earth, and metal as well, each with their own direction, each with their own season. So this is a lovely artistic rendering of the seasons. You see the blue in the lower right, snowflakes, that's our winter. Then we move back into spring, into summer, into autumn, and back into winter. But what I chose this for is you see the light gray. We actually have the Tai Chi symbol that underpins, let's say, the movement, the flow of yin and yang energies, as well as these elemental energies. Seasons are a type of time, but so is a day. So our body, our day moves through these elements. So it's a little more detailed here, but generally speaking, the pink and dark pink are the fire, the shades of green are the wood, the gray is metal, the yellow and tan is earth, and the black and the gray in this diagram is the water element. In addition, there are the 4, sometimes 5, depending on what you're reading, celestial animals. So these are also called the protectors or the protective animals, and they are seen in the sky. They are constellations as well, but they show up on the earth and in the sky, and they are mythical animals that manifest the energies. So we have the upper left, we have our black, or water is also indigo blue, called the mystical warrior. I bring these up even though they're more esoteric, because the name of our Qigong that we're going to do, at least the first 3 movements of tonight, is called the Mystical Warrior Qigong. I'm not going to go into all the attributes and aspects of even winter, but certainly not all of the 5 elements. What I want you to take away is that in wintertime, we need to conserve and protect our energy. And that is because even now, it's not so lacking in abundance, because we have greenhouse vegetables and fruits, and we're just a very abundant culture. Our bodies still evolved with these seasons, so that in the winter time, much less food, or the food was preserved, and some perhaps had less chi. So we need to be a little more judicious with our energies. And conserve is kind of one of the watchwords. We're going to do a practice when we stand up called perineum breathing, which is super easy, super accessible. A little bit of a learning curve whenever you're trying to get your energy body to do something, because at first our physical body wants to jump in. But we leak qi. So if we do all these qigong practices that gather fresh atmospheric qi, if we eat beautiful food that brings in qi, drink great water, spend time laughing with friends, all of these things replenish and grow our qi. But if we are leaking, it's just like we're a sieve, and it's almost more detrimental to take in a lot and leak a lot than it is to take in a little bit and still leak. How we leak in our body, the perineum is that mound of muscle between anus and sexual organs, but it's energetic opening or porosity. And so you can do all the qigong you can make the benefits in various practices. Qigong practices, in this case, are just targeting that. Uh, like I said, Qigong, laughing with your friends, amazing Qigong, but sitting down to do energetic practices, more targeted and perhaps more effective because of that. Perineum needs to be snappy. You don't want to close your perineum off. You want to be able to open it to connect with the earth and then close it like a happy sphincter, but energetic. And this breath that we'll do is all you need to do to cultivate that. However, we do many other things that leak chi, especially these days. Screens, too much talking, too much TV, or too much social media, certainly. Think of any of the senses. When they're taxed or used too much, chi leaks as we're using them. That said, Tao practice is all about living life. So never using your eyes or never, doing this or that to try and pursue purity is a mistake. We cultivate and collect practices to, let's say, rebalance anything we do that unbalances us. Of course, if you go out, sleeping 2 hours a night and blah, 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 I'm not sure Qigong could fix that. Reasonable life, depletion, overindulgence, sometimes that happens. That makes for celebration or other things. And you bring it back with Qigong. Your Qigong practice should have 3 parts, regardless of whether you do the practices that you learn with me tonight or any other source. Look for a way to purge stale, old energy, a way to take in fresh energy, and a way to refine that energy to better work within your system. So we will do a great purging practice called Phoenix Cleans Its Feathers. And we're going to do all 3 of those standing, but the energy circulation practice that I'll introduce tonight is kind of the crown jewel of refining your chi and balancing it. And I'll say a little bit more about that once we sit back down and get ready to do it. So the way I set up my practice, I should say that I've been doing this for 30 years now, and I'm a Western teacher in that I've learned from many teachers. The traditional Asian way would be almost to be a disciple of one teacher and one lineage. But because I like variety, could blame it on being a Gemini maybe, I don't know. I always am precise about learning the practice as the tradition has taught, telling my students and passersby, this is from this lineage, this is from this lineage. So if you fall in love with something, you can find that teacher, that lineage, and pursue it. And I also say, if you learn a Qigong set and you want to modify it. Always be clear about what the original version is, because when we learn Qigong, when we learn a meditation, we are a tradition holder. Whether we never share it with anybody, we become a little vessel that carries that forward. So I could go on, but I don't think I will. Let's stand up and we'll do some movement. So just begin with a little movement. Just to sort of lubricate your joints, but not really anything that's moving chi consciously or anything that is too precise in the beginning. First one I like to do is lymph rocking. It's from Wudang lineage, Qigong. And so you just bring your weight forward as far as you can without losing grip on the floor, and then back as far as you can, just front and back. Your knees are unlocked, which unlocks your hips and your ankles. And you don't want to be robotic or stiff about it. You're always loose, and going with the flow is translated from Chinese. I don't know, it's been around since the 60s, I think. So then we can add a little energetic work to this called opening the three gates. So this is almost the three dantian, not quite. Lower dantian, yes. Middle dantian, yes. But this is the upper dantian, but the third gate is actually the throat. And whatever we have in front, we have in back. So if you push hips forward, open your arms to open this gate, you're actually closing the lumbar gate. So we want to come back and open the lumbar gate. So front and back. Nothing so big that, you're not trying to get more flexible. You're not trying to do anything physical except move your body, but inviting those energy gates to get mobile. So the middle gate is heart center in front and scapula center in back. We just raise our arms. And if you roll your hands so your thumbs are leading, that opens the front gate. Thumbs leading the other direction opens the scapula gate. And I'm bringing my weight forward and back also. And then the throat, and then the back of the neck. So this one, same thing. You can bend your arms to protect your shoulders if you like, because the main thing is opening both vertically and horizontally. Opening both vertically and horizontally and back. And there are many of these, but I think we'll do at least one more called bone throwing. And you're basically, it's like a kick, except it's sloppy or lazy kick. You're just throwing those bones. And then throwing the arm bones. Good. A couple more times. Come back. And let's do some hitting. We hit with a cupped hand because we want to hit with this little pillow of air. We hit in a certain direction. So this is the neutral position of the human body, earth and heaven. So yang qi comes from heaven, yin qi comes from earth. Telling you this, you do not have to remember it, but it is a way to map the direction, the best direction to hit without worrying about meridians. So let's do the legs first. This is the yang side of my leg. If you think about four-legged creature, whatever is hidden from the sun is yin, whatever is exposed is yang. Little pillows. Come back up 3 times is usually good. And come up the yin side, the inner front of your legs. And then the arms. So this is where that neutral position comes in handy. Yin is earth to heaven, so the soft skin of your arm. Just flip, come back up. I don't know if that was 3. Let's do one more. Go to the other side. And just because this feels good. So my hand is completely limp, and I'm really hitting the back of my shoulders more with my fingers than my palms. And if I was strong with my fingers, it wouldn't be as effective and it might even be a little painful. So then some organ. So what this impact is unimportant. What's important is the vibration we create by these impacts. So engaging your abdomen. And that's just liver and spleen. Go down both sides of the large intestine, small intestine, back out. So these don't have a direction. However, if any organ's going, oof, don't hit there. And then the kidneys and back. So kidneys are here. And I'm bending forward to make it easier on my shoulders, but it also exposes my kidneys a little bit more. Now stand and just observe. Good. So loosened up. Let's do some purging. Take a wider stance and sink. So this is not martial arts. We're not doing these horse stance, but you do want to be upright. So only go as deep as you can with tailbone to earth and crown to heaven. So if you go too deep, you're going to start leaning forward. Deep doesn't matter. Connecting to heaven and earth matters. So this is a rather esoteric one, but has lovely imagery to it. A phoenix cleaning its feathers is what we're doing. So this is the initial posture. I'm grounded. My hands are below my navel, important. If they're up here, your energy will rise toward your hands. Down, you stay grounded. And we're going to do a Kapalabhati, fire breath, and accumulate chi in our dantian. Don't do a lot of fire breath in Qigong unless you're fueling something that you're going to do right away. You don't fuel yourself with that kind of heated chi for no reason. Plus, fire burns out, right? It's not stable. We want our chi to be stable if we're gathering it. So, tongue on upper palate and exhale only, and then inhale soft and air will come in. So it's not, and I'm through my mouth to show you, it's actually through the nose, but it's that breath pattern. So ground yourself. And I'll do this when we're completing the Kapalabhati. It's 10, 12 times. Inhale and empty. 1/3 in forcefully. And then 1/3 again, clearing your body. Another last third. And we'll do the lung sound, S sound. Then we're going to clear horizontally. And kidney sound is cho, cho. And all the little tendons. So there are several people that I don't know here, so let me give you a little bit more. The idea is visualizing like a scraper board or some sort of gathering connection between your fingertips. And as you inhale, you're gathering up all that stuffy, stagnant, sticky chi that has been used up, no longer has a place. And you've got this chi here, and then release it. You're not polluting. Remember, the earth takes everything and reuses it. So we're doing it horizontally, but I always think of it as falling right down to the earth. And then this direction is our Wei Chi field. So gathering up, gathering up. My arms only go to the front. But if you think like an octopus, if you could gather from all four directions, Wei Chi field is now clear and clean, and then down to the earth. And this last movement connects our three dantian, lower, middle, and upper. The traditional instruction is for women, the vagina or vaginal energy enters through the tailbone and goes up the spine with that fiery energy connecting all three. For men, the penis, it was described to me, actually goes inside or curls back and does the same thing up the spine. But it's the energy, not the organ, so it can do these unusual things. So let's do it twice more. Usually do this 3 times because there are 6 Dao sounds, and then we can do all 6 of our sounds. Back down in our grounding posture. And fueling your lower dantian for this. Empty, empty, empty. 1/3. And liver sound, sh, sh, sh. Heart, ha, ha. Connect your dantian. Last time. So you see me pausing. Even after all these years, I check, am I grounded? Am I rooted? Because whenever you're dealing with hot or lively chi, connecting to the earth is your friend, it's your safety. And spleen, tiger growl. And the he, the triple warmer sound. Brushing down, bringing down any chi, any heat that's risen, that rose. Moment to just observe. I was going to do dragon and phoenix breathing, but I think that's a bit young. So let's do something a little softer after this very young phoenix cleans its feathers. Let's do ocean and fire qigong. So a more gentle stance, but still very grounded. And you can take some breaths to grow your roots first, but Phoenix, helped us arrive. So we are here. And this is mostly visualizing and drawing up energy through intention. The one thing is the breath is used, and it's our kind of tendency just to stand here and do the breath, but that's not giving the body a lot of information. So as I breathe up ocean energy, move your body. Mimic the idea of being filled up and emptied. It's more supportive to deepening that taking in of the chi. So actually, let's be grounded, but let's root. So visualize or get in touch with the chi field all around you. See yourself standing in a cloud or mist of golden light. Inhale and fill your body with it. Exhale it out your feet into the earth. And continue at your own breath cadence, but each exhale of that light grows your roots deeper, wider, thicker, and stronger. Good. Now send your mind down to your roots, to the outer edges of your roots, and then down into the planet and outward to connect with the waters of the earth. Connect with the oceans. Inhale, drawing that ocean energy, that ocean water energy up to you, up through your roots, filling your feet, your legs, your knees, your hips, your belly, only as high as your heart. Exhale, allow it to return. Trust that whatever you need will stay. Inhale that ocean up, and exhale, allow it to return. A couple more times. So the water element nourishes us. We are between 60 and 78% water, depending on your size, age, and the source that you're reading. But without fire, we have no vitality. So let's bring that fiery energy up. It is not foreign. It's not from outside of us. At the center of every single one of our cells is a spark of that yang fire chi. Send your mind down to your roots. This time go straight down to the center of the earth. Inhale that fiery chi, yang chi up, filling your roots, your feet, your legs, your hips, your belly, but no higher than your heart. Exhale, put it back. May require more attention or intention because fire likes to rise. It's no problem. Just send it back. Inhale up and exhale back. One more time. And pause, enjoying your nourished and revitalized body. Water is yin and fire is yang, and they are never pure or separate. So we're going to inhale up both fire and water together. It's the trickiest, but we have rooted and grounded. We have nourished with water, we vitalized with fire, so no problem. So send your mind back down to your roots, to the outer edges. This time, Go both places. Send your mind outward to the oceans and downward to the fire at the center. Inhale, drawing them to you and filling your roots, your feet, your legs, your hips, and your belly. Whatever fire and water together looks like to you today. And exhale, they go back. And rest and observe. So we've purged and we've taken in fresh chi. Now we want to make space, make movement to help that fresh chi align better with our energy system. It's not complicated, but we're going to do Kwang Kong strokes his beard. And this is a way to do the microcosmic orbit without your brain, basically. You're moving your body and you are using your intention somewhat, but you don't need to kind of go deep and focus the way one can doing the seated meditation. So it basically looks like this. We already did this, right? I'm leaning forward, I'm leaning back. And when I'm leaning back now, I want to bring my hands up very close to my body, up to my crown. When I lean forward, they're further out. So I'm basically tracing an oval in front of me. And this oval is in front of me, but inside my body, the same oval is moving. So when my hands are close and rising, I feel the energy come up my spine. Tongue is on my upper palate, reaches my crown, and when I bring my hands down, the energy comes down my central line in front, up and back, down and front. So this is my kind of default speed, which is a little fast, or a little faster than tradition. So if you want to go slower, we can try the way that feels, bringing it down, bringing it up. There is no correct speed. The movement is different person to person. It's different day to day with the same person. So just to feel it, let's go a little faster. And then ending by slowing it down. And one detail, important detail, is since qi, we're all dealing with yang qi here. Yin qi is very delicate and harder to discern. So yang likes to rise, easy to come up. Make sure intention, bring more mind to your hands. Make sure it comes down. It's going to come up. Make sure it comes down. You can place your hands over your belly, over your dantian. If you have a density, a buzzy, or heat in your head, super porous, kind of magnetic, centers in our palms, you can double them up and connect with your head, with the energy in your head, and draw it down. If you're a skillful practitioner, you can pull it right into your dantian. If you want to be sure, this is easier just to send it to the earth. But get it out of your head. Good. So we'll sample this lovely shamanic qigong mystical warrior. And people often ask me, since it's Mystical Warriors about winter time, can I do it anytime? And I think that's a valid question, but I've been thinking about it. But instead of thinking Mystical Warrior is about caring for our wintertime selves, which a lot of the things we'll be doing do, I think of it more, perhaps helpful to uh, do it as honoring the mystical warrior, honoring this celestial animal, animist energy that protects us, that travels with us, and is more present in the winter, but is always present. They don't die and are rebirthed. They're just front and center, and then a little subdued in the cycle. So we begin with a grounded but natural stance. And we begin by, this is called embracing the tree or I Ching. We can go into detail about the structure, but just be soft but firm, soft but strong. Tailbone earth, crown heaven, tongue on upper palate. And my arms are holding the trunk of a beautiful old tree. So they're round. After we settle into this very old, very traditional posture. And if you're doing this at home afterward, you will have access to the video. You can stay here a long time. This is a practice of its own. Then we move into the first movement of mystical warrior, and we connect inward and outward using the energies of our fingers. So we connect to heaven by pointing our thumbs more upward and connecting to that energy of the cosmos. We connect our little fingers downward to connect with the energies of the earth. And then, having done that, our index fingers point forward, and the instruction is to connect to the center of the universe. The long fingers just connect fingertip to fingertip, not touching, but energetically to make sure that circle is strong and round. Then our ring fingers fold back, and those fingers connect to our heart. And once you have the mudra, make sure that it's relaxed, that you're not overusing, you're not creating tension, you're not wasting effort. And stay. If your mind wanders, just one finger at a time, reconnect. Thumb to heaven, pinky to earth, index to the center of the universe. Ring fingers to your heart. And we slowly transition to the next movement by taking back these connections. So bring those index finger extensions back to you from the center of the universe. Bring your pinkies from the earth back to the circle. Thumbs back from heaven. And your Bring fingers back from your heart. Then we want to make a chi ball, or a ball that is not quite so big, because we want to be able to handle it. So just start tracing this three-dimensional shape. And this is more playful. There's no like move your hands here and then here. No, just try and really feel between your hands there's a ball of chi. And then we involve our whole body. So I bring the ball to one side and my weight to the other side. And reverse. You see me lifting my heel on the unweighted leg. And you can stay here, but the full movement is to get there. So when I come to the side, I lift my leg. Just playing with this ball that was just visiting the center of the universe, just visiting heaven and earth. And now it's our personal chi ball. So we come back to being mostly in front of us, centered, and we make our ball smaller and smaller. Actually, tonight, let's make it extra small and let's swallow it all the way down to our belly. Big swallow, sort of cartoony. So we give that a minute to land, to settle in. Whichever hand is touching your belly, that stays there. The one on top comes up to your heart. And the movement, the body movement, is heart hand goes into armpit, belly hand goes to elbow, and they switch. Pretty simple, right? So as you go into your armpit, you curl forward. As you go to the spots, you gentle arch. What makes this really my favorite movement of the set is that we are tracing the Tai Chi symbol onto our body. We are the Tai Chi 2, which is a diagram of the universal energies in motion of yin and yang, always shifting, transforming, and moving. The breathing will match the movement. You don't have to force it. We're going to do this for a little longer because I want to pause here. Rather than going, there are 3 more movements, I believe. It's a short form, only 6 movements. Now slow it down. The Tai Chi symbol is 3-dimensional, even though we see it on a piece of paper, but we don't know how fast it's spinning. It can be as slow as the moon moving through its phases, or as fast as spinning top. And pay attention now to your spine. We want the spine to be arching and curling gently, more helpful than a big stretch and a big forced curl. This is, I think, the clearest definition, the example, example of pumping. So we want our movements, at least some of them, to be pumping like, because that supports the pumping movement of our life force energy. And that means that our chi body does not have to work nearly as hard. I imagine it also helps your lymph system and your circulatory, your blood system. But that's my intuition. I don't know for a fact. A couple more times. Last time. Stay. Let's do one more because I like this one too. Sorry, this hand is uncooperative, but we want this mudra, both hands. We start down here, one hand up. And this is flying swords. So the upper hand slides down the side of your body, kind of like a snake. Snaking down. And as this one is going down, this one's just floating straight up. So once you have the arm movement, it's never only the arms, but it's very helpful to kind of get those first. And then the whole body joins in. And think about flying with flying swords. So you are a warrior figure. It's a different figure than mystical warrior, but it's still this warrior, lively and celebrating. A couple more times, and then back down to the Dantian.
Amanda, I have a question about the rooting, the grounding exercise and rooting.
Mhm.
I don't know if I've been doing this wrong, but I've always been gathering the chi in my dantian in my belly first before, connecting to the feet to let it out. Is what we did today kind of shorter version?
It's different. Yeah, it's more about making roots and not so much about cultivating energy in your Dantian or connection to your Dantian. We will do a more Dantian focused version of that to prepare for the orbit. Yeah, but no, you sometimes it's very helpful just to fill your whole body like a balloon animal and then send it down.
Thank you.
Yeah, other questions? Okay, so I want to show you a picture or two of the microcosmic orbit. So I think most people by now have been exposed to acupuncture and the idea of meridians. The microcosmic orbit uses something that apparently has been translated as vessels. So they're not quite the same as meridians, but they go up the spine, up the back of the body, and down the center front. What's different about them for us practitioners is that the energy can go in either direction. It's also in Qigong used, well, I can't say used, thought that if we have a strong and balanced microcosmic orbit, our organs and meridians even can draw on those energies in the vessels if they're depleted. They can also deposit energies if they have too much. But we don't try and do that for our meridians. This is like the tendency toward balance that our bodies have. We trust that it will take care of that. our focus is on strengthening and balancing our microcosmic orbit. So you see these little fireballs that end around the forehead, and then the little blue balls, which are balls of water. This is the yang, dumai, and this is the yin, renmai. One of the benefits, purposes of doing the orbit is that you balance the two also. So maybe you're very, very young, connecting your yin and your yang in this very simple way helps settle your yang. It can vitalize your yin if it's the, if you have the other issue. Here are just some different illustrations. The ones on the left show the acupuncture points along the two. And the one on the right is the reason I wanted to show you this. This is actually a picture of the microcosmic orbit. And I'm not sure what the tail is, but might be, oh, we didn't do perineum breathing. Okay, we can do that sitting down. We'll do that first. But what we're going to do today, you see the blue and the green, the colors aren't indicative of anything except they're separate sections of the orbit. We're going to do the saddle orbit, which is taught generally as the first version that a beginner would do. However, I still use this version because it is wonderful for setting a boundary around your dantian. Dantian is this precious energetic vessel in your belly that can hold and store your life force that's not necessarily needed right in this moment, but we never want to run out of it. That's a whole discussion, which we don't need today. But and so many people come to me for private work, complaining in one way or another of poor boundaries. Well, this is an energetic practice that can reverberate into our Shen, into our spirit, and into our emotions, setting up that boundary around what is precious. And I will guide you the whole way, so don't worry about, oh my God, what's she going to make us do? Don't worry about it. Questions about that? Okay. So we're going to do perineum breathing, and it's easier to do standing. If you want to stand, you can. You can also roll back, kind of sit on the sacrum, so your perineum is not being compressed, and stay seated. It's this amazingly simple practice. Little learning curve because most of us aren't very coordinated with our perineums. We're not used to connecting and asking them to open and close. And in the beginning, if you feel like your anus, or women, your vagina are jumping in, don't worry about it, but just kind of work toward your physical body being at rest and this being an energetic body practice. Practice is inhale, open your perineum. Exhale, squeeze your perineum. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. 3 more times for a total of 5. When you've done 5, rest, but stay focused or connected to your perineum. So that's really a default, or probably mostly a mind leading the way. The second set, also 5 breaths, but we want our breath to lead. So as you inhale, your perineum opens. As you exhale, your perineum squeezes. 4 more times. When done, just pause. The third set, still 5 breaths, but now the perineum leads. So this is kind of the most counterintuitive, but certainly possible as you continue cultivating the practice. So your perineum opens and it draws in your breath. Your perineum squeezes and it squeezes out your exhale. Perineum opens and you inhale. Perineum squeezes and you exhale. 3 more breaths. Now rest, staying with your perineum. So that is the practice to cultivate, for lack of a better word, a snappy perineum, which will prevent waste or leakage of your life force. More is not better. If you really feel fatigue or worry about losing chi, you can do this up to 3 times a day, like morning, lunch, and after dinner, or before dinner, but not more than that. And this is true of a lot of energetic practices. We're not monks, and spending 3 or 4 hours a day with qigong and nigong, it's almost like you can exhaust yourself and not do the cultivation you wish. You can do more harm than good. And there also becomes the question of, are you avoiding your life? Yeah. So if you remember nothing from this class, that would be the practice that I would like you to take into your life.
Miranda, can you do it lying down in bed?
Yes. Yeah, I was doing it sitting down, but you have to kind of own the practice to ignore the pressure on the perineum from sitting. But yeah, you can definitely do it lying down. And it might be a great bridging practice to sleep. Although I usually need more breaths than just those 3 times 5. Speaking of sleep, I kind of need the rest of the class. So in the series, we will work with sleeping and dreaming, including various ways to change your relationship to sleep, I would say. I don't think I have time to really go into them tonight because I want us to do that microcosmic orbit and do it well. If we do end up with more time, I'll bring up a couple of points about sleeping and dreaming. Okay, so the centerpiece of our orbit is a pearl. It's called your immortal pearl. The idea being that you've had it in past lives and you will have it in future lives, and it's almost an essence of you. There's a lot of writing on it. For us tonight, know that every time you do a practice with this pearl, you keep that practice. We always locate it in our dantian and we put it away into our dantian after we're done. But it's also, in practical terms, a point of focus. So we create the pearl, bring it into that saddle orbit, and with our focus and intention, and then beginning our breath, but later breath becomes an obstacle, we just draw that pearl around that pathway. And then whenever we're done, we pause, and then we draw the pearl into our dantian. I think let's do it. I think more words are not helpful. So sit well, feet on the floor, feel your sits bones on the chair. So make sure you're not on your tailbone. Stack your shoulders more or less over your hips, and your tongue remains on your upper palate. If it floats off, just put it back. No big deal, but we want to keep it there. And the head is not rolled forward, but we want our crown to point up to heaven. Always feet with earth, crown with heaven, between those enormous energy sources. Turn your attention inward, but also become aware of that field of life force, that chi field that you're sitting in, that you live your entire life in. And traditionally, we view it or we image it as a cloud or a mist of golden light. And inhale, fill your body with that light. Just a gentle exhale, collecting some of that nourishing chi. Inhale, fill your body, and exhale. Inhale again, filling again. But this time, exhale grayness or cloudiness, inviting your body to gently release any stagnation, stale chi. A couple of breaths like that. Now shifting the pattern a little bit. Inhale, fill your body once again. But now as you exhale the gray, draw that golden light into your belly, into your dantian, where you can fully utilize it. Inhale, fill your body. Exhale gray and draw it into your dantian, the golden light. A couple more just like that. Now reach deep inside yourself and draw up into the center of your belly, into the center of your dantian, a beautiful luminescent pearl, and hold it there. Now let's change our breath pattern again and inhale directly into your dantian, that beautiful golden light. And as you exhale, the pressure of your exhale helps that pearl soak up that light. Inhale, fill your dantian. Exhale into your pearl, around your pearl. With each breath, your pearl becomes more vibrant, perhaps larger or heavier or denser, but it's clearer in your mind's eye. Since there are people here who may not have done this before, I'm going to ask you to move the pearl from one center to the next, and I'll tell you where it is. And when I tell you where it is, you tap on that spot. It helps your body feel that center. So tapping just below your navel, and inhale into your pearl. Exhale and draw the pearl out and hold it in that center. Just tap a couple times and then can allow the pearl to arrive. Take a breath holding the pearl there. Now inhale into the pearl again. We're going to draw it down to sexual palace, and that center is more or less a finger width or so above the top of your pubic bone. So tapping there a couple times. Inhale into your pearl and exhale it down to sexual palace center. Hold it there and take a breath. Hard to tap on the perineum, but we've already worked with it, so it should be okay. Inhale into the pearl. Exhale, drawing it down to your perineum. Tongue is on upper palate. Hold the pearl there and breathe. Inhale into your pearl. Going to the sacrum center next. So use one of your knuckles and just knock on the center of your sacrum. Exhale, draw the pearl back over the tip of your tailbone and up to your sacrum. Hold it there. Breathe in and out of the pearl at that center. Next center is Ming Men. It's on your spine at the level of your natural waist. Just knock it a couple times. Inhale into your pearl. Exhale, drawing it up, Dumai, up your spine to Ming Men and hold it there. Take a breath. Now we're going to go straight through our body back to Dantian Center. And if you're new, you can use your navel, which you might feel more connected to. Either one is just fine. So knock on the front of your body center at your navel or just below. Inhale into the pearl on your spine at Ming Men. Exhale through your body back to Dantian Center. Good. Now we're going to simplify the pathway a little bit. Inhale into your pearl. Now exhale it straight down to your perineum. Still take a breath there. Inhale into your pearl and exhale it up to Ming Men at your waist. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale it through your body, back to your navel. Take a breath into your pearl at your navel. Another inhale, and when you exhale, drop the pearl into that pathway. Let it flow smoothly down, around, back up, and through your body. Down your center line in front to your perineum, around and up to Ming Men, through your body. If you're a returning student and you know about the sacral pump, I would let the cranial pump rest, but you can use the sacral pump. See how it feels with the saddle orbit. If your mind wanders, if you lose touch with your pearl, without frustration or judgment, just return your mind to your navel, reconjure a pearl, and drop it back into the orbit. So if you're new to this, or you feel like boundarying your belly, it's a good idea for you today. Keep doing the saddle orbit. If you're returning and you wish to expand the microcosmic orbit up to your crown, down front back to the perineum, you can expand your orbit up. We're going to do this, whichever one you choose, for another couple minutes. One more minute. So if you expanded your orbit, bring it back down to the saddle orbit. Ending the practice by grounding and boundarying your lower dantian. The next time your pearl reaches your navel or dantian center, hold it there. Just with your focus, hold the pearl there and allow the flowing chi to settle. And inhale into your pearl and draw it inward, slightly downward, and return it to your dantian. See, feel it settling into your dantian. So this practice can create stray flowing chi. So we close by layering Lao Gong, super helpful, strong energy center. So make sure they're aligned. Don't get floaty with it. And then center them over your belly. And I'll demonstrate up here so you can better see, but we want to clockwise spiral these two Lao Gong over the belly. And as we do, we visualize water going down a drain and like that spiral, that tornado, drawing in any chi that's floating around into the dantian where we can store it, keep it, cultivate it. Traditionally, it's 36 times clockwise, 24 counterclockwise, but I wasn't counting, so it's just reverse to counterclockwise. And rest your hands on your belly and rest. Just stay. Try not to do too much. Good. I like to close any practice by bringing down heaven. So we come up and we connect with the yang light of the sun and draw it down through us to the earth. Go back up for the yin light of the moon to the earth. And then the ancient lights of the stars. So I'm glad I didn't try to stuff in sleep and dream, but I can say that I'm guided by two ideas, or it's one idea really. First is a statement of fact that if we're 60 years old, we've been sleeping for 20 years. That's important just to think about it. And the other is if you're spending a third of your life dreaming and sleeping, I offer a lot of, it's for myself also. If I'm dealing with something I don't know that is mysterious or I don't understand, I try to take something I do know and use that as a guide. So my dreaming self is a self. It has a life. It has thoughts and feelings. How would I interact with that dreaming self? I want to be that dreaming self's friend. I want to be their loving friend. I know that's not philosophically respectable, you know, cutting myself into pieces, anthropomorphizing. It doesn't matter if it helps me understand something in a better way. So, one of the things we can do is simply invite our dreaming self when we go to bed, time to sleep. And Masahiro, one of my teachers, says, invite the dreams. But I kind of like to shift it and invite your dreaming self, your sleeping and dreaming self, to connect, to celebrate. They have the floor now granted to them. Yeah. So before I sign off, any questions? I will be sending, if you registered, I will send you a link to the recording and to register for the 12-week series. We will do more stuff. Lots more stuff. And I hope you register because I very much enjoy my Sunday evenings practicing with you all. Otherwise, take care. See you soon.